remember.
So
at
do
all,
you guys
anyways.
not have strong opinions about your own favorite things?
No, I
I
have
have
strong
strong
opinions.
opinions
It's
about my
just about
favorite
stuff I
things.
dislike.
Do you want to talk about Halo with me?
I'm saying this is where I in my psychology of my existence, I have such strong opinions about my favorite movies, my favorite games, my favorite anime, that anybody who says that Evangelion or Final Fantasy VII is like a terrible game or something or a terrible anime, in my opinion, they're just like a retard. I'm trying to they just don't know, like they don't
Okay, that
understand
opinion is
why it's a
retarded.
good thing.
That's a very...
Like if somebody says Final Fantasy VII is a terrible RPG, I'd be like, well, that's okay. You're ignorant, you're stupid, you're low IQ, you're dumb.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
That's a
that's
a
that's the
shitty set mindset.
that's the psychology that I have. I can't help it. I can't help it.
You're
How am I
sub
supposed-
85,
wait,
bro.
So you're saying people can't be low IQ? You're saying people can't be stupid?
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah, I
you
know
can
a lot of
like
low
something
IQ
and then
people.
see someone who doesn't like it and have a nuanced opinion about it. Like
Yeah, but the
their
person-
complaints can, as
what
long
if
as
the
they're
person-
valid, you can respect.
What if the
them.
person who
Honestly,
doesn't
there's
like
a lot
it
of times
is
I do
90
not respect
IQ?
a person. There's a
Oh,
lot of times
okay,
I
well,
don't
that's
actually
completely
respect the
different.
person's
Hold on.
opinion if I
I got
hear
it.
it
I
and
got
I'm like,
this.
wow, that's really stupid.
Lofty.
You guys are
Like,
Like if their reason for disliking it's really stupid, I'll be like, wow, they're a retard.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Lofty.
saying.
Yeah, I will do
Lofty.
that.
Holy shit. Okay, what?
But there could be well-reasoned opinions to not like something I
Of
like.
course there can. Of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah.
I've
Lofty.
encountered that. What?
Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That's all that
Oh wait,
matters.
actually, Alex is in the chat. He dislikes Evangelion because Shinji's a bitch.
Look,
These
people hate Attack on Titan because Gabby's a bitch. Like, what the fuck? I hate those people.
Gabby is a bitch.
Well, fuck those people.
I don't like Demon Slayer because
Nope.
whoever the main character
Gabby's
is
not a
a
bitch.
She is.
He's
Oh
a
wait, not
crybaby.
the same way. Like, okay,
Cries like a bitch.
Cries like a
Gabby
bitch.
is a mean-spirited character on purpose.
Why? She saw her fucking best friend die next to her, get his head
Yeah.
fucking crushed. Why
Yeah,
would she
but
not
that's
shoot
That's
Sasha?
not the perspective we're walking.
What would
in
you
with.
do? Would you just be like,
We're
oh,
walking
fuck
in with
in
the
ass?
perspective of she just shot someone who we've spent 4 seasons with.
But that's but you're putting yourself in your own perspective. You're
Yeah.
not putting yourself in her perspective. So in her,
You
she's
understand
not a,
people dislike characters who do things to
yeah, but
characters
that's
they
not.
like.
But you're not giving the
And now we're
character
gonna start
its
talking
own
about
due.
Trigun.
Dude, I respect.
That's like saying you don't like
Wait,
a
are we?
character because they're ugly or something. It's just like
No, it is completely fucking different. It's completely fucking different. Abby can be the most well-written character in the world. No one's gonna
you're
like
not-
her because of
you're
what she did with
not-
Joel.
yeah, but you're not part of the fucking squad. Like you're not part of the survey corps. You're a viewer of the show. You should have the intelligence enough to understand where she came from and like
Yes,
what
we
her character.
understand that. We can still dislike her.
But your reason for disliking her character is contradictory to why her character is written into the show. It contradicts the entire character.
We can understand why a character's in a show and still dislike them. You understand?
So
that,
you
right?
so
Yeah, you could-
basically
I understand
No.
why Nezuko is in the show. I can still dislike her.
but why do you dislike her? Because she killed Sasha?
No, Gabby.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. How
But
she
don't
talks
you
about
understand
how
why
supposed
she
to not like the
felt afterwards about
character?
killing
But
Sasha
wouldn't
pisses me
Aaron
off.
Yeager wouldn't Aaron kill Sasha if he was in her situation?
Okay. I don't.
But you
wanna
like Aaron
have this whole
suddenly.
conversation, but he did. In my eyes, he did.
Okay.
You can sympathize with why a character became a certain way because of trauma
Yes!
or whatnot, and still not like who they are.
Yeah.
But that's delusional. That's
Why
absolutely
is
What
that?
do you
Wait, why
mean?
is that
That is
delusional?
about objective as it
because
gets.
if you
I think this
sympathize with a
character's
character,
a bad
you
person, but I understand why they're a bad person. You're being fucking delusional.
but
Yeah.
you're saying you sympathize with this character and you like them, and you're saying you sympathize with another.
No,
character.
I
no.
understand. That means
Understanding
No simping
someone
here.
is not liking someone
Yeah.
But why don't you like Gabby? That's the question.
Because
she's a bitch.
like a
if somebody-
prick
if-
after killing
okay.
Sasha.
if
But that's-
somebody
because-
looks like a bitch.
if somebody killed somebody you liked and had a good reason, like an actual good reason to do so, you can understand that good reason and still hate that person.
I think it's a little shallow.
No. What you're doing is you are conflating the idea of hating a character with thinking a character shouldn't be in the show.
No,
So-
I'm conflating the idea that people hate the character Gabby, therefore the show is bad.
Talk about the last. of Us
Okay,
2.
okay. That
Do you
then
like
speak
Abby?
that you're
Do you
conflating
like
that
Abby?
Oh, I
because
bet-
that's not the same.
There's a lot of people that are like that.
There's so many straw men in this, though.
Wait, do you,
Yeah.
you don't think
Yeah,
you don't
you're gonna
think
come
you don't
across
think people
people
hate
with-
Attack on Titan because they don't like Gabby?
I don't
I know-
know. I don't
People
know enough
don't hate
people who
Attack
hate
on
Attack
Titan
on
because they
Titan to make
dislike
that
Gabby.
opinion.
Yes, they
That's
do.
4 seasons in.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
But that's like you,
What?
when you say something like
the
Avatar's so
hatred
great
of
and
Gabby is
widely
like one of the
popular.
reasons.
I have never met somebody who goes out of their way to talk about how great Avatar is ever in my life.
Look,
In real life, you were
Mhm.
the first person.
This is literally just an internet problem you're facing because you're on the internet.
no, I was
This
is
on
a
multiple
permanently internet
streams
problem.
where people hate Gabby and they hate the show because Gabby's
Wait,
in it.
streams, internet.
Yeah, I'm talking to
Internet,
people
yeah,
about
literally.
real people in real life.
Well, that's the internet is actually real people, but it's just real people on the internet as opposed to
Yeah, but
streams
there's
is
people.
not real people.
Then there's
It's
people in the
not-
comments, which are thousands of people.
The
And they all
people in the
agree.
comments literally aren't real unless you're talking to them, like, unless
Oh
it's like a literal
God.
5-viewer chat.
Like,
So you only include like your 5 friends in your your whole world.
well, hold
Pretty
on,
much,
Lofty.
yeah.
Though, hold on.
What?
We agree that if somebody hates an entire show because they hate one character who has an understandable motivation, we
Yes.
agree that that's dumb.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
You're
But
literally.
why do we care?
but, like,
Because I don't remember how we even got to that conversation.
You started it.
You literally.
Yeah, but
started
it came from something else.
No,
Okay.
it was another. It was.
We were
It was-
talking about the fact that we can have disagreements. And, like, it's okay if somebody doesn't like something if the reason makes sense.
Yeah, because they're dumb. Okay.
If
that's an
somebody's
example
stupid
of
has a
why
bad
they're stupid.
opinion, we'll say they're pretty stupid. Or I would say
Well,
they're
then
pretty stupid.
then we all agree they're dumb.
yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
somebody thinks banning all guns is a good idea.
I think
Like,
banning
can they
pit
be
bulls
dumb?
is a
Can
good
they just
idea.
be? Can they just be dumb, or do we have to respect their opinion?
ignorant. That's ignorant.
Well,
You guys are no. Some of you guys are freaking me out. You're acting like
Michael.
everyone's opinion needs to be respected. No,
What? What have we ever said?
But
that?
no, you're the one
no.
saying that.
I'm saying.
No,
a
I'm
reasoned
saying
opinion.
You
Nobody
literally
has said
said
that
if
yet.
someone's understandable, then you like them.
no,
Mhm.
you.
No,
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 we
no,
were
no, no.
having
You've been licking
difficulty
your
rec-
keyboard too much tonight.
No, I'm talking about opinions about things, not about empathizing with a character. It's different
No,
things.
but
He spilled a beer in his
initially,
keyboard
Lofty was
earlier.
I
that,
did.
like,
Well, I guess we could
one
just
of the
say our
people who
opinions
have
on this.
of
Then it's like
opinions on art or media or
Yeah.
whatever that differ from you in any way, and you immediately classify them as retarded.
No, it depends on their. It depends on
Yeah.
why they don't like something or why they like something.
Yeah, like
that's what we were
your example of
saying.
if somebody just dislikes AOT for Gabby.
Yeah, that's a good
it.
example.
That's dumb.
So-
Yeah,
But
we
then
agree
you
it's like, yeah, it's
conflated
dumb.
disliking Gabby for disliking AOT.
No, I'm kind of including Avatar in this situation.
What are you?
Somebody who just doesn't care about like the master quality, brilliant visual effects artistry that's happening on screen.
But I
You're
don't
just
care about it.
Yeah,
but like you can't
don't
just
have to.
ignore it. Like it's part of the movie. Like I don't
I've
understand.
never seen it, and I don't care if I ever do. That's kind of ignoring it.
Wait, you never watched Avatar?
No.
I just said this earlier.
Wait, who was
No.
I
Yeah,
arguing
blame
with?
You were arguing with me over here,
Michael.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin guy.
Wait, who's seen Avatar?
I have.
Who was I
have-
arguing?
I
was
Fraunus
arguing.
has seen the original Avatar.
Has anyone seen Avatar 2?
Me. It was
Oh.
literally me. I'm right here.
Okay.
Literally,
I
Come here.
he read
Oh
the
my
script. That's why he literally did it.
watched the whole damn movie. It was not good. I had fun. It wasn't good.
Oh, so you had fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've said this like 14 times now.
All that matters. But the other person was saying they hated it.
No, it's the same person.
Oh
Still
my
me.
God.
I still think the movie's bad.
Lofty, you're drunk. Go home.
Ah,
Don't worry, we're gonna wrap it up as soon as I finish
Lofty,
this village.
I don't like the movie. I wouldn't rewatch it. It still was fun.
okay, it's fun.
I think Michael.
I want to kill people.
I think
Oh,
Lofty
then.
thinks he's arguing with 3 people.
I feel like I get dogpile. I feel like I'm like a magnet.
Yeah, no, it's definitely you're fighting shadows, bro. It's okay. We're all here for you.
Magnet.
There are 5 people on the stream and you're fighting one of them.
This is the place you can come where we'll be okay. We'll make it through together.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
I just like one of my pet peeves in life. It's probably a psychological problem.
You
But
blame
it's
me
when
for
people
psych, bro.
don't like things that I like. I fucking hate it.
You know,
I hate it so much. What?
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, no, this is actually the point of contention that Flawed Man had.
I'm just being honest.
If I said, like Alex, I think now I like Final Fantasy VII, but like Alex said, I don't like Final Fantasy VII. I think it was bad. I'm a Final Fantasy VI fan. That's what I
If Final
thought was
Fantasy
good.
VI was better, he's right.
Here's what I think. I think people don't really consider the depth of what they're saying. I think people are very okay with saying things are mid or bad or good or whatever on a whim, and they're just like they don't really consider like their opinions. They just kind of like people don't take things seriously.
If someone asks a question, I'm not going to pause to ponder it for a few minutes before I give.
Yeah, but I do. But I do. Everything I talk about, I take very seriously. So like,
we will have no Mr. Girling on this stream. Do you understand?
I don't know. Maybe I'm autistic. But like,
No, that
it's a spectrum. We can all fit.
I'm trying. Like, oh my
Finding
god,
all the way on the right.
What about flat earthers? What about flat earthers?
Oh, they're hilarious.
Do you have a problem with me?
Maybe they're right. I don't know. Maybe they're
It's
right.
the firmament.
Maybe they're right. How do you know? That's their opinion.
No,
no,
they're wrong.
Would it change
that's
your
not
life if they were right in any meaningful way?
No, but they annoy me because
they are wrong.
They think they're right, and they annoy me because they're stupid.
Why does it? Okay.
It's the same thing as
do you
somebody
not
who
encounter
likes Lord of the
people
Rings.
every day that are dumb?
Oh my god, you don't even know.
Dude, he lives
Just
on the
take a
internet.
smug sense of superiority and walk away.
Look, if somebody thinks that J.R.R. Tolkien is a shit writer, I'm gonna probably think that they have the IQ of my aunt who's actually mentally
Maybe they
retarded.
just didn't
But
read
how do
it.
you cope with that? Like, how do you reconcile with that? How do you deal with it?
I
Because
usually ignore
it
them.
sounds like it stresses you out.
No, I usually ignore them. It depends if I'm. Well, I don't know. If I read,
That's why you're a Twitter user, Lofty.
No,
Yeah.
for example, Final Fantasy Remake, I loved it. Okay, there was a lot of people.
That's the
There was
thing.
a lot of people. Like, this is a good example. There's a lot of people.
I have mixed opinions.
There was a lot of people who hated that game.
Yeah,
And
I saw that stream with you and
kind of,
Flash.
I got a little bit stressed out about dealing with
Why?
those people because they're kind of ruining the whole hype of the fucking game. And it's
Why?
like,
I mean, because hype, even negative press to a degree is
I
good
feel the
for
same
hype.
way about Pokemon fans. I feel actually more so.
Yeah, we've already
People who-
established the worst
went-
part of any franchise is the fandom around it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's usually the case. Not. The
I
case
just
with
think
Star Wars.
people are negative like way more these days than like.
And
they've
that
been.
Very
makes
negative
you
about
negative?
negative people.
I'm negative
if-
about negative people because I think negative people are like morally corrupt. That's just how I feel
Morally
about it.
corrupt makes them negative.
Yeah, I think
so
negative.
I think this just comes from an issue where like there's this disconnect in your brain with somebody who can have differing opinions or not like things, and then you're taking it to heart. You're taking it as a personal.
I could be. I mean, I try not to be a snob because I try to understand.
Lux
what
on
people
Kick, how you doing? Compi friend.
But, well, we got a Kick viewer. Hello, Kick person.
I love Kick viewers. They're hilarious.
Dude,
I
I
do
don't
too.
understand how you're drinking the original flavor. I hate that shit.
It's my favorite.
Melon's the only thing I can drink.
No.
Melon's very good, I can tell you.
It
I
is
just
too.
my beer.
So good, dude.
Oh my god.
If
no,
I
no,
didn't
no.
buy something-
Like this is a
Doing here. VTube calling other
No.
people.
Look, it's all about. Okay, you think.
Are you
everybody thinks-
Are you using that avatar ironically?
No, everybody thinks. Okay, everybody thinks this way. I'm the only one being honest about it.
everybody thinks what way?
Everybody thinks that they're the main character of their own fucking world.
No, it's called main character
Yes.
syndrome.
But no,
It's
but everybody
It's
fucking
literally a thing.
everybody
I don't.
fucking. Okay, so your opinions are wrong on a whim based on somebody else's like.
My
correct
opinions
your
are
opinion.
better.
No,
than
my
everybody
opinions are
else's.
mine.
That's my point.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're not
That's
like.
That doesn't mean
Nobody
that.
will
the
ever
main
have his
character of
opinions
your
that
own
I've
world.
had opinions of.
You're the main character of your world. So
That's not what main character syndrome is.
It's
so if you're not a main character, then your opinions can just be like, oh, I'm just like this NPC. Let me download Blaine's opinion. Like, fuck off.
What are you?
Well, I
what
mean,
are
that
you
sounds very
talking
similar
What
about?
do
to
you
like
think the
your own-
people
that
you're
is-
arguing with are doing? They're
You
literally
have your
copying
own
other people's
take on
opinions.
things, and if you're influenced by other people, you're not really doing anything. Like, you're not living. You're not being alive.
Not living on
Look,
Yeah, I
there's
take
plenty of
views of
people-
other
I think
people.
that I'm the main
Lofty,
character
I don't
in
want
my
to give you this
story.
diagnosis, but I think
Yeah,
you have
no.
something called main character syndrome.
Main
No,
character syndrome
everybody-
is different.
No, there's different. No, it's different. Look, everybody.
No.
I think I'm being a person. I think I'm being like an individual person. I think a lot of people are NPCs. I think a lot of people watch Nerdrotic or Geeks and Gamers or Mahler or whatever the fuck and just absorb their opinions, and they're like, oh, Mahler didn't like John Wick Chapter 4, therefore I don't like John Wick Chapter
Do
4.
you
It's like,
think
holy
you're
shit.
immune to social engineering?
I think I'm more immune than most people. Yes.
But you're not immune to it.
You know what? I agree with Lofty.
Nobody's fully immune to anything.
So on some level, you're an NPC too.
Oh, everybody's influenced by their exterior like culture.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
But I
it's
think a
like
lot of
you were
people-
saying-
I think a lot of people are straight up NPCs in any direction, especially in fandom communities. If you see a person who follows like the Act Man or Angry Joe, and they're just like, "Oh, Angry Joe loved Dungeon, what's the new movie?
No.
Lofty,
that?
the
What's that
difference
movie?
is
Dragons.
I only know the
called Dungeons
anime.
and Dragons. It's literally
Dungeons
called
and Dragons. Oh, therefore I have to like it, or therefore I have to hate it." It's like maybe have your own opinions. I don't know. Like, don't follow the people.
Do you think those people don't have their own opinion?
Yes.
No, guys, you're missing the point. Those people are literally children. Their audiences are comprised of children. They
lot of
don't have their own opinions.
A lot of people
That's
who
true.
just straight up
I
copy and
literally
paste
used to
whatever-
be one of those people, and I was a child while watching
Yep.
them. That is how people do it.
And it's
Hmm.
you know what it is? It's team sports. It's Gary from Nerdrotics said this about Star Trek. And if somebody disagrees with Gary, I have to echo Gary's opinion and shut that person down. That person's wrong.
Mm.
Because they offended the person that I idolize. Like, Gary's just a fucking normal dude. Like, like, you don't have to idolize Gary. You don't have to idolize these people. Like, have your own opinions. You know, I don't know. Like, I just think I think this concept of having an opinion is very important to your personality and your individuality.
But you
I
don't
think
like it when
if you
other
think-
people's opinions
No.
disagree with yours.
Yes, because I think if you think
Yes.
other people are
I
stupid,
feel like there's a
that is a
huge
very strong
gap
you're
here.
taking a strong look. If you have a strong opinion about something that you like, and somebody else disagrees with you,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be
You have to
like,
kill
"Oh,
them.
well, that's your opinion." It's like, if you're being look. Now, I'm speaking generally. If you're friends with the person, this is not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal if I like the movie Godfather and somebody doesn't like Godfather. I'm just like, well, that's not a big deal. But you should feel strongly about your opinions on like the grand scheme of things.
Well, it depends
you
on
should-
how important the actual opinion is to you.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't.
Not
like,
everybody
my,
has the
my
same opinions
enjoyment
on.
of The Godfather is
I'm
Not
sorry.
that important to
I
me
think
to
you
the-
guys are coping. Look, here's an example.
Coping about what?
Wait, what?
yeah. Why would I need to cope? I don't need to cope about it because I,
I keep
don't.
asking you guys, and you're like terrified to even give me an example.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
Dude,
here's
you
an
are-
example
what
of
is-
something I like that you've
What is
never
your
heard
favorite? What is your favorite anime of all time?
Evangelion.
Okay,
I'll
if
just go
somebody-
Konosuba.
If somebody thinks
Naruto. And I
even,
just spent an entire hour of people
what?
shitting on it.
did somebody say Naruto?
of. He likes Naruto. He's weird.
It's not my
Which,
favorite. but
which
I really
one?
like it.
Which one? Which
Okay,
one?
Lofty. Literally,
Yes.
people constantly tell me that Evangelion is one of the worst anime of all time because Shinji's
Okay,
a whiny bitch.
what
And
do you
that's what
think
they
of those
always
people?
say.
What do
I
you
think
of those
those people see themselves in Shinji. I think they can't get past that idea of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this guy who can't
kinda
do a
stupid.
thing, and it kind of hits this like emotional tie for them that can't let them continue on with the show.
Yeah, they're kind of dumb, right?
No,
They're
that is
kinda
not
low.
what dumb means.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Here we go.
So
What?
you're not confident in your own opinion that the show is a masterpiece?
No, he's confident in his opinion that they're not.
I
dumb.
know
They're
this show
disagreeing.
is a
But
masterpiece.
you might be wrong. Oh, so they're objectively wrong.
Yes,
Hello. Okay, well then
Yes.
fucking say that to them.
I do.
Who
Okay,
am I
this
talking
is-
to that's
Every
saying that,
time.
though?
This is where
And I tell them why they can't get past it.
well
He
then
does.
they're stupid.
That doesn't mean they're stupid.
Because
That's where we differ.
You have to come from your own perspective. Like you can't
It's no, they're coming from their own perspective. I'm coming from my own perspective. They are not stupid because of that, though. Stupid is very different. They can't
Okay, I was using the
emotionally
wrong
make
word.
it past a specific part of the show. That has nothing to do with their intelligence. That has nothing to do with
But
IQ.
you
That has
have
nothing to
to
do with
argue-
anything like that.
but you have to argue. Okay, you have to ground. Oh my god.
I have to ground what? I
You have to
ground
your-
my.
You have to ground your perspective in your own taste and your own appreciation for like whatever you're.
But why would I do
Whatever
that to somebody else?
don't know
I
what-
see there's no here's the deal, Lofty. If I talk to someone and they're like, "Oh, I don't like that because of this." And I say, "You're dumb." It's
Look,
a conversation ender. Conversation
Blaine-
goes no farther. We
Blaine,
can't continue to
You've
talk.
discovered, Blaine. You've discovered something that's enlightening, that's exciting, that's interesting, and that's beautiful, right?
Okay.
Which is Evangelion.
Yeah.
In your opinion, in your perspective, the
Okay.
person that you're disagreeing with
Yeah.
has not discovered the same contextualization that you have. They're
Correct.
not privy to your own perspective. So
Right.
therefore, they're kind of flailing around in like the middle of the ocean. They're kind of drowning, and you're like, look, you're kind of wrong about what you're doing. Here, let me show you why you're wrong, and like come to this like swim
Okay.
towards me.
All right.
It's
Here's one.
you know what
The
I mean?
difference is they're not drowning.
I
Here's
am
one-
being dramatic about it.
I know you are, but here's the problem. Here's my problem. My problem again is that if I say you're dumb, it has nothing to do with their intelligence. What it has to do is
come on, buddy.
All right. Look.
what you
wait,
think
here's
someone's
an example.
intelligence?
Everybody has the same intelligence. Is that what you're saying?
No,
No.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm
Well, then
saying
why
that
does it
There are
have nothing
certain
to do
types
with
of
it?
people.
Well,
I'm
then why
saying-
does it has nothing? Why does it have nothing to do with it?
because
Maybe it does.
somebody who can't step out of the door and take steps in their life to move into a positive direction will start Evangelion, see Shinji unable to do that, and be like, "No, I can't watch this. This is
So you
dumb.
don't
He's
think
stupid. He's
higher-
a crybaby."
You don't think people with higher IQs have more empathy?
No, I don't think your IQ has anything to do with your empathy.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yikes. Okay,
That's
I'll send you some
All right.
studies, but that's
so.
okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing,
Studies?
Lofty.
Yeah, I will.
Dude,
My
you're
favorite
literally
movie-
tripping.
No, I'm
my-
not.
my-
Like you guys think like people with low IQ have more empathy?
No, I
No,
never
I don't
said
think it
I
that.
don't
correlate.
think anything affects
I-
anything.
I-
I think
I-
people can have their own opinions, and it's fine.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
okay,
going to
but they
rail
can be
someone for having the
stupid.
wrong opinion on
But
something.
what does the empathy have to do with anything? What does the empathy have to do with them liking a show or not?
Lofty, you're drunk. You're not explaining.
I'm
Also-
giving an example.
What?
Okay.
But once again, Lofty, here's the thing. If I say, "Oh, your opinion's dumb," where does the conversation go? You're just burning
There is a-
bridges and walking away from people if you do
No,
that. You're not
no,
Or here-
you're not able to move forward. There's no extra conversation.
Somebody-
You can't keep going past that.
Look, we're so far into the abstraction that it's like we're not even.
We're
Like,
not.
yeah,
We're
let's
right
look
at
at
we're at the fact. I like this.
Mhm.
I don't like this. You are dumb. End of conversation. We're not abstracting anything. That's literally where the conversation ends. I prefer to have better conversations with people. So rather than say that they're dumb, I want to figure out why they think that. I want to see if what I know about the show will help turn them around onto it. And if it doesn't, I don't care.
Well,
Yeah.
what if you are like? What if you're ignorant, or what if you're
What if that doesn't mean that
It's not my
the
problem to like
possibility
solve
that
other
X
people
exists
being
doesn't
retarded.
mean
I
that
don't
it's
think I could even
always
do
that
that,
way.
honestly.
Have you ever, have
Like-
you never changed your mind about something where you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even realize that this person was right the whole time,
Yeah.
and I was ignorant.
Sure.
Have you never had that epiphany?
Do you think ignorant means stupid?
I think ignorant means somebody who's unwilling to
No.
accept.
That's wrong
It literally
immediately.
means they don't know something.
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're talking about. If
Willful
somebody's ignorant,
ignorance, maybe.
well, it's a
That's
combination of somebody
ignorant.
who's ignorant and also a combination of somebody who's declaring that they're correct, objectively correct about something. So if somebody says, if somebody, let's say if somebody says, I'm trying to think of a fucking example.
All right, Lofty. Here, how about this? My favorite movie is Black Hawk Down. Let me tell you why. Okay. Watched it.
Oh, I hate war movies.
I hold on.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
Black Hawk crew chief. My mentor, when I was at Black Hawk, he was there when it happened. Drill sergeant that I had a lot of respect for. He was there. I relate to it a lot, and I think it's very well done. It was just very well done. Now, somebody might see that movie and go, it's okay, just another war movie, I guess. Or Orlando Bloom
maybe-
looks weird in it.
Yeah,
something
maybe,
like
maybe
that.
maybe they're ignorant and they could have a better appreciation for the
But
movie if they had
Maybe they
an
just didn't
understanding.
enjoy it because it didn't appeal to their senses and what they get out of, or what they're looking to get out of a movie. Maybe
Okay,
it
so
just
somebody-
seemed bland to them. Where to me it was special because it rang. It hit me where it was important to me. That doesn't mean that they're ignorant, stupid, or anything. It just means that their tastes are different.
Okay. That's true. You're picking an example of something that's like very.
Yeah, but you're being an absolutist about things where it's like if they don't agree with me, then they don't. If they don't understand it, then they're.
I'm saying that some people are
that you think that anybody who disagrees with you is.
Oh, I think we had an internet hiccup there.
Yeah, we did.
I'm not being an absolutist. All I'm saying is that some people are ignorant. That's all.
No, you were saying that someone who doesn't agree with you is stupid. We've refined the conversation. However, that was the opener to this. That's why I've been on this diatribe, and that's why it took me so long. And now I'm going to get in trouble if I don't end this stream now.
Yeah, his wife came in like half an hour ago to tell him to stop. We got hop off.
Okay. We'll have to continue this. This could go on for 1,000 years.
I do want to dig deeper into this because this is a very different take than I've ever heard before.
Yeah, it's the struggle. It's a struggle. I struggle. My life is
Lofty struggles a lot of things.
Struggle is real in Lofty's world.
Write down your thoughts. We'll hit it again later. All right, we'll figure this out.